Hey, this is Greg Berger, and you are listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
Me, Grimlock, say you're listening to All Things Transformers.
All Things Transformers, hear the call from Cybertron's heart. We'll never fall. We'll never raise a medal. The legends ignite in this universe. We thrive and unite tonight.
Hello and welcome to All Things Transformers. I'm your host, Steve Megatron, and joining me on this adventure into the Transformers fandom is TFG1 Mike.
Hello. Game on.
Send the Zamboni, everybody.
Right.
So, yeah, this is...
I don't know where this came from. I wish I could give the credit to whoever I stole it from. And I am admitting that. So, I said this off air, I'll say it on air. I understand and respect that some people want to keep their Facebooks limited to friends or whatever. But a post like this, an image like this, where it's like all these hockey teams as Transformers things, like that should be a public post where you could go back and blah, blah, blah. I couldn't share it. So I commented on it. I'm like, ooh, this is cool. Yoink. So I have no idea who the artist is on this. No clue. It does not say. There is no. Do not see any watermarks on this anywhere. I wish there was a watermark so I could credit somebody. Because the person that I commented on this, they didn't comment back to me, and I honestly don't. I have like 500 and something friends on Facebook. I don't remember who I stole this from. But I like hockey. You like hockey? Question mark.
Oh, I like hockey.
Okay,
I haven't watched it in years, but yeah.
We never talk about sports on the Geekcast Radio. We've talked about sports exactly one time with the Sports Gal Pal years ago at this point. But, yeah, I love hockey. Boston Bruins, born and bred.
Detroit Red Wings.
Yep.
I live in Denver neighborhood now, and so them's fighting words.
What?
No, I'm saying like I'm
not, you being there. Yeah, you're
yes,
not.
It's like I'm not supporting the locals. But no, I mean this image is funny, and I have a very tiny Transformers news that.
Okay, we'll get to the news later.
Yeah.
We'll get to the news later.
But this is kind of funny. I'll do the run through of these because when you first sent it to me, because these are so well done, I didn't realize. Well, I was looking at it from a distance, because it shrunk down on the phone and everything, and I didn't realize that they had, Transformerisms put into it or the names changed. And then when I zoomed in, I'm like, holy crap, this is hilarious.
Yes, it is.
So we have the Anaheim Depth Chargers.
Fish pants.
Which I think it's the Mighty Ducks or something.
Yeah, it's the Anaheim Ducks now. And it doesn't matter what the real teams are.
And yeah, so we have that. We have the Arizona Dinobots, which I didn't even know Arizona had a team.
I think it's the Phoenix Coyotes, if I remember.
That's right. Why would they put Arizona then?
Because
they're not the Arizona Coyotes. Why didn't they just put Phoenix? I mean, they went with cities for everything else. Anyways, we have the Boston Bees, like the Boston Bruins.
Yep.
We have the Buffalo Star Sabers. That's the Buffalo Sabers.
Yep.
The Calgary Minibots, which it used to be the Calgary Flames.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Carolina Battle Sparks.
Which it's the Carolina Panthers. I know that for a fact. Or not the Panthers.
No.
Hurricanes.
Yep. And it's funny because they broke out into different conferences too. They're like Atlantic, Metropolitan, Central, and Pacific, which is funny. Yeah. Because they kind of moved everybody around. The Chicago Constructicons.
Yep. Which Chicago Blackhawks, but this is cool. That makes sense.
The Colorado aerial bots.
Which Colorado Avalanche? Okay,
Yep.
sure.
I mean, and it's funny how closely most of these look.
Yeah, exactly.
The Columbus Combaticons, which are the Blue Jackets.
Yep.
The Dallas Stars are the Dallas Stunticons.
Yeah.
The Detroit Junkions are the Detroit Red Wings.
I mean, you got to admit, Detroit is kind of a planet of junk.
Well, yes and no, but I do like how they use the wheel. That's iconic in there, and really, whoever designed this was a genius with the art. Like it's so fitting and perfect. It's just it's hard to discern that this is just fan art.
Mm-hmm.
So and then continuing on, we have the Edmonton Energon.
Edmonton Oilers.
Yep. So again, it's keeping with the theme of the Oilers, the Energon, the fuel. Florida Minions.
That's the Panthers in hockey. That doesn't track too well. But okay.
No. So then we get to the Los Angeles Tyrants.
Los Angeles Raiders. That kind of fits.
Or the Kings.
You're right. Los Angeles. Yeah, Kings, Tyrants.
Yeah,
they're all. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Minnesota Maximals, which are the Minnesota Wild.
Wild. Yep.
Some of these teams I'm not quite familiar with, to be honest, because
some are new, some are new, some are old.
Yeah, so I mean, some of the teams I'm familiar, but they've changed names or they've moved. Mm-hmm. Montreal Coneheads.
Yep, which is the Montreal Canadiens. Yep.
Nashville Predators are the Nashville Predacons.
Nice, that's awesome.
The New Jersey Quintessons are the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
The New York Insecticons are the Islanders.
Yep.
And then the next one is New York Elite Guard, which is the Rangers.
The Rangers, yep.
The Ottawa Sweeps are the Ottawa Senators.
Yep.
Philadelphia Protectobots are the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yep.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are the Pittsburgh Pile Drivers.
Rumble is purple. Gotta love it.
San Jose Sharks are the San Jose Sharkticons.
That one is obviously very spot on.
The St. Louis Soundwaves are the St. Louis Blues.
Yep.
Tampa Bay Crimzeeks are the Lightning.
Yeah.
The Toronto Wraiths are the Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs, yep.
And it's funny because it is pretty close to like how the shape of the Maple Leaf thing is going.
A little bit, yeah.
The Vancouver Cloud Jaws are the Vancouver Canucks. Yes.
Yep.
And then the Washington Blasters, which I'm not familiar with. It's the Capitals, but it's
Capitals.
Yeah. And then the Winnipeg Seekers
is the Winnipeg Jets. So that's very on par.
But it's funny just looking at the difference. They're so like all of them are pretty spot on.
Yeah. And the designs of each of the images is just so cool. Like literally the Washington Blasters, they have blaster as the bottom part of the hockey stick in the L for the larger or the T for the blasters. Yeah, it's so fun, so cool. I wish I knew the artist that did this because oh my god, we need to interview that person because that's hilarious.
Well, and this is the thing too is even this like the Washington Blasters because the Capitals. I felt like that could have been the Washington Elite Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Capitals because it would have had the Elite Guard.
Yeah,
kind of. Or like the Washington Hot Rods or something, because I'm basing it off of like a version of Rodimus Prime that's in, I think, the Energon universe or something.
Yeah.
And he's got like this similar symbol as the capitals.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
This is getting expensive.
So this image, and I looked for it on Google image search. Comes up on an Instagram thing.
Okay.
And it's from the account Hockey Fights.
Okay, cool. Next time I'm on my phone, is there an underscore in there?
I'll send you the direct,
Okay.
and then you can take it from there. I did a Google image search. So they're missing like a couple of teams, obviously.
Yeah, they're missing a couple of teams, but
I mean, honestly, it's just funny.
yeah, I think I found it.
But yeah, I'm loving this
Yep, found
graphic.
it.
Like this is just spectacular. Like I like hockey, but this takes it another step. Now I just want to see Transformers hockey.
That's right. We need to see. We saw. If Optimus Prime can play basketball, he can sure as hell pick up a friggin' hockey stick. Oh, now Optimus. Yeah, no, this is amazingly awesome. Yeah, I already found the guy. I already found the image. I'm already. Oh wow, he's got music to it. That's not good. I mean, it's fine, but it's not good for a podcast because you can't have music in podcasts that you don't own, folks. Don't you know?
Yeah, that's called a copyright infringement.
Yes, exactly. Don't even get me started on. We'll be here all night. This is All Things Transformers. This is not Geekcast Radio. Okay, fine. Since I was already on Instagram, explain to me how, if I literally, I just shared this person's story. Now, when you share, anyone knows that's been on Instagram for the last 5 years or longer. When you share a story, it comes up with their information. It automatically credits them. It's not like I'm stealing the stuff. I'm not downloading and re-uploading. I'm sharing directly from their account to my story. Well, over the last 3 days, Facebook has given me 2 infractions saying I'm stealing content, that I've uploaded videos. And I'm like, no, I haven't. What the hell's wrong with you, Facebook? Like, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. Facebook, Instagram, they're all meta. Like, how can one platform's terms of services be different than the other? Whatever. I'm sure somebody will ask that question. You can answer whatever the hell. I don't care. But the point is, how am I going against Facebook's terms of service when I'm not uploading anything? It's a direct share from Insta. I want to throw Facebook into the lava over at the dark side and just. So anyway, what news do you have? Because I looked at some of the news and I'm like, I don't really want to talk about any of this bullshit.
So obviously, like for those that haven't paid attention.
Yeah.
We have a Geekcast Radio store.
Oh, you're going that route first. Okay, yes, we do.
Yes,
We have
I'm going with the positive first, and then so yeah. So anyways, the Geekcast Radio store is shop.geekcastradio.com, and I'm going to add some more stuff on it, especially after I just found another like an old store that we were using for a short bit. I'm going to add those items to the Geekcast Radio store as I continue to build that out. But yeah, I mean, I'm having fun adding some stuff to it. I've got plans to add more, some of them of quotes and some of them podcast titles and just a lot of different things to the store. But yeah, I have myself a nice Geekcast Radio 15-ounce mug.
Yes.
And that sucker turned out perfect. So it could withstand a picture because like they use like a sublimation type thing. So like they print out a sheet type thing and then they somehow adhere it to the glass. But I made sure I did it without the drop shadows. or the glow.
Yeah.
And this sucker looks pretty crisp. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm waiting on the Geekcast Radio shirt to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a Geekcast Radio hat. So if I ever have to go somewhere and network, I'm going to have some pretty awesome stuff as I sit there and I drink out of my mug and look like I'm just sporting swag. So I do plan on doing some like live stream stuff eventually next year with it.
Yep.
Just to kind of like show it off. But yeah, so that's first and foremost what's going on there. Also had an interesting thing that I told you about offline about one of the old stores that I'd uploaded like Optimus to, and the show's mascot. And it's funny because somebody was like, "So is Optimus Prime a custom?" He's like, is he an original? He's like, I don't know what the story is. He says, I looked around in the Transformers wiki and Google and no luck on who it is. Who are you referring to? Is it an Ultra Magnus reference or, and I was like, well, he's a custom creation of mine based on my old truck and Optimus Prime. The backstory is as follows. And I dumped the tech spec that I wrote up for him a long time ago in the style of the one from the, I think it's the IDW like tech spec database, like their whole source book breakdown. Because I bought some of those at one point and had the Beast Wars ones. I didn't have the G1 comics of those, but I had the template, so I made it. But yeah, I told them that it was essentially the mascot for this podcast, and the individual goes, "Oh, that makes sense. My nephew was looking through the site because he wanted Transformers shirts for his birthday and showed it to me in confusion. All I could tell him was I never heard of that one, a rarity because that was the one I was into when I was growing up and still am to a degree. Still need to finish my Aerial Bot collection. So I said I did the usual web dig to see if it was something I was unlucky with seeing. Also, I guess the inquiry was fruitful for both of us. I got an answer to my question. You got a new podcast listener. I'll check it out. So,
sweet.
Thanks for the listen there. Really appreciate it. It's always cool how that kind of stuff works out, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if you're listening and you're brand new to the podcast, thank you for listening. And if you want to interact further, visit us on geekcastradio.com and check out for adult ears the Beast Unleashed podcast if you're into Beast Wars.
Yeah, that's not for children.
No, it's not.
We intentionally.
It was recorded like 14 years ago, so
almost 15.
15. Yeah.
We intentionally did not make that for children.
No, we did not.
Remember, folks. All roads lead back to the low road.
My kids like that episode, by the way.
They got good taste.
Yeah, they like the Super Rhino farts. Anyways. So I saw this Studio Series Devastation Deluxe Optimus Prime, and while the picture of him in the box does look cool,
yes,
the picture outside the box does not. No, I mean, in all honesty, if like I was, obviously the Studio Series one is the better figure,
obviously,
hands down.
Yeah.
This one has, I mean, if you're just looking for like a static Optimus Prime that's, smaller, this will suit your needs. And it is aesthetically similar to the Devastation video game.
Yeah.
If you're going to leave them in the box, like I'd say great. Or if you're just wanting a discount Optimus Prime, that would be the way to go. However, I would still recommend like the Studio Series 86 or like one of the third party Optimus Primes. I still have the Netflix War for Cybertron figure, and I just repainted him as G2 Prime because I was like, well, it kind of fits, and then I have J-Axis, and then I have G2 Megatron, and then that means that I have the G2 Leader Squad. So if I ever get a
sad
G1...
thing is... Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, if I ever get a G1 Prime, then I've got a G1 Prime.
Yeah. You know what the sad thing is about this? Number one, it looks like something Super 7 would make in the box. I'm looking at the flat image of in the box, the figure looks like something Super 7 would make. And the only interesting thing to me, the cool thing about this whole thing, is the art on the front of the box between the robot with the glowing blue eyes and then the glowing truck. Everything else about this, I do not care. I would rather have Studio 86.
And which, that honestly has grown on me since I've started looking at it. I just wish, like, I don't want the Devastation figure.
Mm-hmm.
I do want the Studio Series 86, however, I don't want the trailer.
You don't want the trailer, I know.
It's a space issue, though. It's more so, I'm never going to transform him. I'm going to leave him in bot mode.
Okay, so here's the thing. You know what you do? If you when you buy a toy that's, let's say, has an accessory like that, what do? You take, like, with Commander Class Rodimus. Yeah, I've got the trailer sitting out on my desk, but if I didn't want the trailer sitting out on my desk, what would I do? I would put it back in the box, and I would put the box in the closet. So even if you did buy him or somebody bought him for you, you could just have the figure by itself and just leave the trailer in the box, man. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Nobody's going to know but you, other than the fact that I just told them.
True. The other thing that you could technically do with it is use it as like a one of those stands so that your figures can be like staggered.
Yeah.
Kind of like steps. Yeah. Because I've done that with my Dragon Ball Z figures. I used a block of wood, and then I used like this peel-on wallpaper that I have in my display cabinet. And I have like the back layer standing on it because you couldn't see any of the characters when I took a photo.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is a possibility. I also like some of the third-party Optimus Primes that don't come with the trailer that are actually like $20 cheaper.
Right.
And they're shiny. And I don't know why. I just like the metallic sheen and the shine that comes with, like, you know, the Transmetal figures. And so they just kind of stand out more to me.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's cool, man.
It's just cool. I like the shinies.
That's right. Nothing wrong with that.
So if this Prime had the shinies, I would probably splurge. But
yes.
But yeah, so there's that, and then there's new Transformers G1 and Beast Wars bag clips. I know this sounds totally ridiculous.
Yes,
However, I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, me too.
Because I mean, it's got that Authentics vibe to it for the G1 stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, it's got Megatron says Megatron, and then like Dinobot, or not Dinobot, Grimlock says Raw Power, and Bumblebee says Bumblebee in a certain aesthetic, and then Optimus Prime with the red, white, and blue, and then you've got Prime. It says Prime, but it's got Primal's face in a box, mm-hmm. and then it says Heroic Maximal, and it's got the Maximal symbol, but from Rise of the Beast. So with the Autobot Maximal mixed.
Right.
So I mean, I like the one with the Beast Wars stuff, obviously, and it looks kind of neat. It looks like they came out earlier this year, but it's just now kind of showing up.
Cool.
So
cool.
I don't know. It's something interesting, and then this one probably interests you more so. Mm-hmm. The rumor mill of the Funko Pop Beast Wars figures actually hitting production instead of just being a digital file.
If there isn't actual glam shots, I don't care.
No, I know.
If there isn't glam shots yet, I don't care, because until they do glam shots, I don't believe it.
So if they were going to have them,
yeah,
what ones would you want?
Obviously, Beast Wars, Megatron. I do want the NFT Cheetor that they do already have. But yeah, so the listing includes potentially Optimus Primal, Megatron, Rhinox, Black Arachnia. I want the Transmetal 2 Silverbolt specifically. The Wolf, not the Wolf.
You mean Fusor?
Yeah, the Fusor.
Yeah, he's not a Transmetal 2.
Okay, what? No, yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes,
Transmetal 2 was with the Transmetal driver.
Right, but
you did not have the Transmetal driver. Silverbolt was born. He was born in a stasis pod when the quantum surge hit him.
Yeah, I remember. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about Beast Wars Silverbolt. I'm talking about Beast Machines Silverbolt.
Well, that's
Eagle.
not Transmetal too, then.
Well, it looks Transmetal, but
No,
anyway.
it's Beast Machines. It's the
Yeah.
Transform and Transcend, Transformation Revelation. It's Beast Machines, man.
You can't see this, folks, but I want to knock him out.
I was just waiting for the head desk.
I'm too old.
Better
and
than
fat
argue
and
with me when it comes to Beast Wars.
Yeah. From Beast Wars, Waspinator would be cool.
That would be fun.
Waspinator would be cool as a Funko Pop. Probably, maybe Inferno, but only if they took the quotation thing that they gave Mary Jane Watson, where she says, "Hello, Tiger," and on it says, "Yes, my queen." I'll have to show that to you off air, but there was a Mary Jane Funko Pop that they came out with, and she literally has a white plastic quote above her head that has her normal Spider-Man quote that she always says. I'm like, what are you people doing? There have not been any actual... The last major Transformers Funko Pop release we had was back in July of this year with Optimus and Megatron, Laserbeak and Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw was the chase, Blaster, and Astro Train. Now, they offered Optimus and Megatron as individual Funko Pops, and they also offered them as is it a Hot Topic 2-pack? I don't know, it's behind me. But the Hot Topic 2-pack is the same figures, except they're metallic looking. So I got I bought two 2-packs, so I could have one out of box and one in box. So they have that. That was the last major one that they released. They do have the NFTs coming for Wave 2, which is including the Cheetor, Ultra Magnus, and I forget off the top of my head the other ones. But those were delayed for some unknown reason. Nobody knows. It's Ultra Magnus, Blitzwing, RC, Cheetor, King Starscream, so Starscream with the crown, and Freddy Funko as Grimlock. Nobody gives a crap about Freddy Funko dressed up as other characters. At least I don't. No, seriously, dude. I don't mind if Funko wants to have their mascot dress up as certain characters, but having him dress up as Optimus Prime and basically have a human with a Optimus Prime helmet on or a Megatron helmet, it's stupid to me when it comes to Transformers. So that's the ones that they've got so far. Now, potentially, these are not coming until 2025, I think.
Correct.
So the first ones that we had leaks of, which is all the same kind of thing, Hot Rod with Matrix, Cyclonus, and a 6-inch Omega Supreme. So the Hot Rod and Cyclonus are the regular 4-inch Funko Pops. The 6-inch Omega Supreme is a larger figure. And then they did something really stupid. Funko Pop Soundwave Bitty Bots.
Interesting.
So what this is, have you seen? I don't know if you've
No,
seen
I have not.
this. Okay, hold on. Give me...
This is getting expensive.
These things are stupid. I understand the whole point of Funko Pops is big head, little body. But in the case of this, it should have just been big chest, little head or something. But basically, it's the 10-inch Soundwave, the one that I already have. But they make his face be able to go up so the bitty bot of Rumble can fit inside his head like a Power Ranger or a person from Voltron or something. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are you people doing? I don't understand this whatsoever. So there's that. Yeah. And then, like you said, we get the Beast Wars with Optimus Primal, Megatron, Rhinox, and Black Arachnia. Supposedly these are coming summer 2025. I don't know if they're actually going to come or not, because Funko and the Transformers license, it's like they do certain things and then they don't do other certain things, and then when they try to do something so asinine, it just makes you shake your head, and it's like, really? Seriously? This is what they're doing with it? It's kind of like the old line from Master, this is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. Like, just, And I don't know who to directly blame, Funko or Hasbro, or probably both all at the same time. I've got one thing, but what else you got before we go into my one thing?
No, I mean, that was kind of it. There really wasn't a whole heck of a lot available for news.
Yeah.
Those were really the only things I kind of noticed. I have noticed that like a lot of the stores have figures shelf warming, which is unfortunate. I've seen them in the clearance aisles at Walmart. I've seen them. Well, I mean, and they're not even clearance. They just are there.
Yeah.
And then the regular toy aisle, and this is the case for most of the figures down the aisle. Most everything is either clearanced, on sale, and not moving. Which begs to wonder, are the toy industry professionals missing the boat on what people actually want? Or are people just not buying them because either A, they're out of money, or it's not resonating? And I don't know what the right answer is here.
I think it's a combination of all three.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering because, like, for me, like, I love Beast Wars, but I didn't even pick up Silverbolt. I didn't feel the need to continue down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I have all the season 1 guys, and I have various third-party transmetals and things like that, but the majority of the stuff that's out, I just either it's priced way too high, or it's just not characters I care about. Like, they're repaints of a repaint of a repaint of a repaint of a repaint. And so it kind of just takes me out of it.
So when we did the 1027 event and they were talking about Devastator being the next thing in the next line or whatever, okay, fine, cool. A lot of people are going to go after that may not already have a Devastator, or those that may have a Devastator want a more movie accurate Devastator, fine, whatever. But like, every event that Hasbro did this year, really, to me personally, and I'm sorry, not sorry, actually, didn't really celebrate the 40th anniversary of this brand. It's great that they had Peter and Frank and they did a couple events with them or whatever. That's all well and good, but like, it just didn't feel like they really celebrated it at all. It's depressing, but it is what it is, and I think you're right. You know, either people already have what they have or what they want out of whatever, or they're not excited for the new stuff, or maybe they're getting rid of their toy collections, or maybe their kids either aren't old enough or are too old and have grown out of the toys, or maybe kids of this Generation Z, Alpha, Beta, wherever the hell we are in the generational naming scheme, maybe they just don't care. Maybe they would rather play Transformers Angry Birds on their iPads than actually collect action figures. And yes, I know Transformers Angry Birds is old at this point, but so am I.
No, I get what you're saying there, though. I mean, it's...
When's I mean, you're a parent. You have 2 boys. When's the last time they played with a toy for more than a week?
Never. Like, and I'm just being honest. Like,
right.
I don't
exactly.
They don't care about toys. Period. Like, it's just kind of the nature of the beast. They don't care. Like, they like something for a short time, and then just nothing.
And I know that's not. And I know that, and
it's not for lack of trying.
It's not for lack of trying on yours and your wife's part, and it's not a lack of... It's not the parenting that's the problem. It's not the genes that are the y'all need to see Steve Megatron's collection. If his kids were really into toys as much as he was and he is, they would be doing almost... But it's just something with this generation that just... It's so much different than our generation when we were growing up. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just kind of sad because once we're gone, how are these toy companies are going to be gone with us if they're not gone before we are? Kind of, you know what I mean? Like, like you said, you've gone to Walmart's in your area, and the same stuff from a year and a half to 2 years ago is still on the shelves.
Oh, I know, and it's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. Yeah,
I'm
this is
well because
sad.
I like the thrill of the hunt. I like to go
Mhm.
in. I like to explore it. I like to see what's there,
Mhm.
and then just to kind of discover that it's not like it's just the same stuff that's been there for quite some
Yeah.
time, and it's sad. Like because you're like,
Mhm.
oh, this means that things are not going so well,
Yeah.
and
And it's not just Transformers, it's all
no,
toys.
and it's all
Yeah.
well, and then this is the other thing. They overstock the stuff that nobody's buying,
Yeah.
or at least in certain vicinities. Like I'm sure they get, certain orders where there's certain things they're constantly ordering. And then
Hmm.
there's situations where they're just not ordering anything new. So
Yeah.
like I was on the hunt for like Dragon Ball Z figures, Dragon Ball Super, couldn't find stuff. Nowhere.
Mhm.
Like I was trying, I was looking, like occasionally, like I got lucky at a Walmart that some of the figures they had them on clearance for whatever reason. At this one location, they were on sale for $10. These like $25, $30 figures were $10, and I was like, "Well, that's a no-brainer." So I bought them all.
Mhm.
And then there were other ones where it's like I can't find them at all because they're either sold out or they came out years ago or they're just not restocking or so I mean there was a lot of stuff like that, and that's the case with everything. Like the Transformers stuff, if you're trying to find an Optimus Prime, good luck. If you're trying to find a Megatron, good luck. Like
Mhm.
those, I would see them in the store for like a week. You can find Transmetal 2 Megatron if you're really, looking around.
Yeah.
And I have one. I got it right when it came out,
Yeah.
and then I promptly repainted most of it. I still got a little bit left to do on them,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to find some of these figures, and again, it's kind of just boils down to like the kids don't really play with it. It's us, the collectors, that are kind of keeping these things afloat because we're
Yeah.
like, oh, they have more articulation, they have more detail. Yes, they are missing quite a few of the paint decor.
Yeah.
Or the decals or any of that stuff, which I've just been doing my own over the years, but it's the fact that most of the people that are getting them are the collectors. Everybody else is kind of just like, I don't need it.
Yeah.
And I've kind of gotten to that point too. I mean, 3D printers, have made it easier to obtain things that the toy industry doesn't make. So like I've got Star Trek ships, I've got Stasis Pod, I've got, add-on parts. I 3D printed a head for the Power of the Prime's Optimal Optimus.
Yeah.
And painted it and popped it on the body, and now it's Optimal Megatron.
That's right.
So again, it kind of just boils down to the fact that, kids don't really play with any of this stuff anymore. They don't care. And even if they don't get it, like my kids don't get electronics, they get to watch something periodically, but it's not a daily occurrence. So it's like, what, like they would rather just sit on the floor and kick each other. Like literally, that's we're like, you have toys, play with them. They're like,
Ladies and
like,
gentlemen, for those that don't know, who haven't been listening to us for the last 15 and a half years or longer, he's got two boys. So it isn't like it's two girls kicking each other all the time.
no, but I mean, it's still the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's ridiculous because like that's all they do is they just hit each other for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And they're collecting Pokemon cards right now, which I'm like, okay, I can somewhat resonate because I used to collect Pokemon cards once upon a time.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just kind of is what it is.
Yep. I guess you could always get them into reading. So,
well, they do that. They do that a lot.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back in time in order to go forward in time.
Okay.
Back on August 12th of this year, I remember us reporting on this because you just rolled your eyes and I just laughed through reading this whole thing, but I'm going to read it again. And this ties into the current day story of what's happening over at Skybound and Image. Skybound's Transformers worst bot ever. Meet Ballpoint. Skybound announced the...
Why would you do this to me?
I can't even finish the first sentence without him groaning, folks. Skybound announced the first book in a new series of original graphic novels due in shops next July. So July 2025. Credited to writer Brian Smitty Smith and artist Mars Jr., who has done Void Rivals covers and stuff like that. The Decepticons are known for being bad, but Ballpoint is truly the worst. The biggest failure of them all. After the latest attempt to take down the Autobots goes horribly wrong, he's kicked out of the Decepticons for good. Will Ballpoint be able to prove his worth by defeating the Autobots all by himself? Or will he keep failing, and find that being the best is more than meets the eye? Blah, 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 blah. So the whole point of me bringing this up is because I finally remember what the hell the name of the Skybound thing is. This inaugural offering in Skybound's Young Readers line, Skybound Comet. So Skybound Comet is going to be Skybound Entertainment's Young Readers thing. Is an integral component of its overall comics partnership with Hasbro. Other key components include Skybound's new Energon Universe comic book series, Void Rivals, two-time Eisner Award-winning Transformers, and G.I. Joe. The miniseries Duke, Cobra Commander, Scarlet, and Destro, which right now, G.I. Joe #1 just came out. I have read it. It is very good. Everyone go check it out and all that good stuff. So the reason why I told you that story to tell you this one, folks. Skybound's Energon Universe Free Comic Book Day 2025 special. Skybound announced the upcoming special Energon Universe issue for Free Comic Book Day May 3rd, 2025. Hey! Free Comic Book Day is back in May again. It was in September last year or something or other.
Yes. Excellent.
The biggest names in comics bring you the biggest Free Comic Book Day release of the year with its 3 all-new stories from the Energon universe featuring G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Void Rivals, a perfect jumping-on point for new readers with huge revelations for longtime fans. Of note, Transformers' Worst Bot Ever is also listed for Free Comic Book Day. It's coming out, but yeah, Free Comic Book Day 2025. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I have been loving the Skybound stuff. Honestly, all of it. Like, the only thing I did not like was the Destro miniseries. So I'm syndicating Jesse Early, aka Matrix Prime. I'm syndicating his show, Another Comic Review, under the pull bag for the older episodes that we've done. And since we've already done the Destro miniseries and the Scarlet miniseries for G.I. Joe, I am naming those episodes Dismal Destro and Stunning Scarlet, because the Destro comic series is by far one of the worst comics I've ever read. It is poorly written, completely poorly written. Oh God, and when I say poorly written, I don't just mean the story's bad. I mean the writing, the way it is written is bad. It's like this person doesn't, and I know this person does know English because they're actually British, but that's beside I think they're British. I don't remember. But the point is they write things in a way that no character, you wouldn't hear a character say it the way that they've written it. It's crazy and stupid, and apparently Destro's ancestors were the ancient spirits of evil from Thundercats. You had to be there, folks. It was freaking crazy. But
well, that's certainly interesting.
Well, okay, so that's what it reminds me of. So the whole point of the 5-issue miniseries for Destro, he keeps going back to Scotland, and he keeps going back to this temple with his ancestors in the Himalayas or whatever. I know Scotland is not in the Himalayas. He keeps going back to this stupid mountain range thing. And I'm like, okay, I know you're trying to give us backstory here, but you're failing upwards really badly. And but so far, G.I. Joe #1, interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where they take it from here. So you can check that out almost every week, as long as there's a comic. We do another comic review over with Jesse Early. Sometimes we do it with Brian the Uneven Flow Merkley as well, usually on Transformers issues. So we got this month still to come. We've got Transformers 14 that we'll be reviewing, and Void Rivals #14. Once again, I think I'll have to track down the trades for you, but I think you would like at least try the first Void Rivals trade. It's space with a little bit of Transformers mixed in. Not much, but a little bit. So, very, very cool. But yeah, that's all I got.
Sounds good. So that's about all I have as well. So thank you for tuning in to All Things Transformers. I've been your host, Steve Megatron, along with TFT1 Mike, and you can get a hold of us on the website, geekcastradio.com. You can, of course, subscribe to this podcast on any of your favorite podcatchers, other than TuneIn, because, you know, they don't update their feeds.
Okay. What you're saying is they tuned out.
Yeah, they don't stay up with the times. There's a lot of that going on in the industry. However, we are on YouTube now. On YouTube podcasts, as it were, still a video format, but whatever, it works. So yeah, we're on there, and until next time, transform and transcend on All Things Transformers.
Yes. I wish to speak to my lawyer.